What's up, beautiful people? What's cooking? What's popping? What's going on? I am so duper super happy to be here once again. Guys, guess what? Today is a story time. This is a story I just remembered a few days ago, and I was like, why don't I share it with you guys? This happened some years ago, few years ago, when I was still in SHS. I was nearly suspended for this act, which wasn't entirely my fault, but you know the rules of SHS. So guys, let's just get into the video. I don't want to waste my time on this intro because the story is an interesting one. Guys, at the end of the story, you're going to know that I wasn't a bad girl at all. And another thing is, my parents know nothing about this. This is all new, so this is a secret I'm going to be revealing here and now. We went to Yasantua Girls Senior High School. If anybody knows Yasantua Girls Senior High School, well known as YATS, and with our slogan Adishe, you would know how strict the rules were. When our headmistress at that time was Mrs. Elizabeth Malik Jabel. Oh my god, that woman was so strict that all the house mistresses, assistant house mistress, and everybody was, including teachers, everybody was strict. We all know that in SHS you are not allowed to take gadgets like radio, mobile phones, and anything that is going to distract you from reading your books to school. But as stubborn as we are, some of us took it. Actually, I did not go to the boarding house from Form 1. I only went when I was in Form 3 because I lived a bit near to the school. Let's say if you take Chochoka, it's just going and coming was, I think, 1 city in, 1 city out. So there was no point in me going to the boarding house. So it was in my final year that I was asked to go to the boarding house. It was even requested by the school that we all come to the boarding house, so we did so. So guys, me the milk as I was going to school, because I'm used to the house and I'm always with my phone, all that, I took my phone along. And when I went, fortunately, with our house, we don't, like, Form 3s do not share dormitories with Form 2s and Form 1s as well. So Form 1s have their dormitory, Form 2 have their dormitory, and Form 3 also have their dormitory. So with the Form 3 at that time, you know what I mean, right? We are the senior sisters. You can do anything you want because everybody in that particular dorm is in Form 3, so nobody can go and snitch on anybody because we're all doing the same thing. We're all doing the same thing. So if one person is caught, we might all be caught, so we're all just trying to cover our backs. The first thing that we're caught doing, I would say I wasn't part of it because I think that particular day, I think we were almost close to graduating, to writing our final paper. I don't know if it was close to or in some months, a few months before. We were there. I was on the down bed, and then I had this dorm mate who was on my top bed. Charity, that's what I remember. Charity, anytime you see this video, hi. Okay, so she had a radio. She had a radio, you know, because they have been in the hostel, the dormitory for a long time, so they know the rules and all those things. So I went to actually meet them there, but I got a down bed, luckily for me. This girl had a radio, so one night we came back from prep. We all know what prep is. Evening studies in SHS is called prep. We came back from prep and we were there. Then she turned on her radio. This girl could not get any station to turn it to. This girl turned the radio to a station where they were talking about all this adult sex education and all those things. The program at that time, I quite remember, it was called Obadana. Actually, in the house, I didn't used to listen to such. Mine was just television and telenovelas. So, and since you couldn't use anything, like you had to even hide to use your phone, because if you are caught with the phone, it's a problem for you. So I was on my bed. I think I was on a call. Even the call alone on no, the call aspect, no, it's one risk. I was on my call, and then they were listening to, it's like the whole dorm was listening to that particular program. Those who were making calls were making their calls. I can't remember Sandra. We had two Sandras as a house prefects. Yes, I was in house 6B at that time. Hi, house 6B members. Hi, if any way you chance on this video, hi. So I was in house 6B. I think I was in the prefect's dorm. Yes, prefect's dorm. Yes, so, but I wasn't a prefect though. That was a dorm I got. We were listening to this program. Me, I was on a call. I wasn't really concentrating. It's your program. I don't know what our house mistress came to do, because she's one person now. She hardly comes to our dormitories. She only comes when she wants to do inspections, and then before she comes, she alerts. She was so good. Madam Esther was so good. So we were there, and it was actually lights out. Yes, we all know what lights out is. So lights out is when, like, the general time for all lights to go off in the school for dormitories, except house mistresses and the rest. So we're there. I was on my call, and then my bedmate was on top of the bed listening to her program. Like, they were all discussing it. Hey, and Crabonism Pine, SHS students, Form 3, final year. After dear, the next minute, I heard our house mistress's voice in the room. The moment I heard it, I was so fast. I quickly cut the call, and then I hid the phone under my pillow. I hid the phone, so I wasn't caught. But the bad thing was, she had already heard the radio from her doorstep, so when she entered, she was coming directly to our bed, and then because the radio was hung on our bed, but it wasn't hung on my side, it was hung on our bed, Charity's side. She just came straight to the bed. This woman got angry when she came there. She said, "Uncrow, Bonnie, bad children, look at what you're listening to. Were you brought here to listen to such things?" This woman dealt with us. The next minute, she took the radio on the floor. She smashed it. Bang! She scattered everything. Now the whole dormitory was quiet. If you are a bed, you chip. Or if you're a woman, talk. Because at that moment, we were all in hot water. Even if you were not listening, even if you were sleeping, you were in hot water, because definitely you know that this equipment has been in the room since. My God. That was how this woman, the scariest part now happened. After this man smashed the radio, she was looking at my face. Me, that was on my own, on my bed. Now, how do I explain to this woman that it does not belong to me? She thought the thing was for me, because you know how the dormitory beds are. It's top and down, and then there was a nail. So, and I think the radio had some handle, or I would say rope. So Charity actually hung the rope on that nail, and then that nail was actually on my side of the bed, though it was up, but it was on my side of the bed. So this man thought it was mine. I couldn't talk. I couldn't say anything. She was so pissed. And then she dealt with us. She insulted us, so she really insulted us. That at the moment, we all thought that the next morning we were going to march straight to the district. Hey, I'm some bro for pain. What an English. To the disciplinary committee to be disciplined. When you go to the DC in that school, just know two things. Either you are going to be suspended, indefinite suspension, which means you're going to go to your house, and if you don't take care, you might not be called back, or you're going to be suspended temporarily, which is going to be with hard labor. and I wasn't ready for any of them because I knew it wasn't my fault. I didn't own it, but you couldn't just snitch on anybody, because if you snitch, you also having a phone, they're going to snitch. So I had to take the blame. God. So this man said, I'm going to deal with you guys tomorrow. At that moment, my heart beats. All I knew was I was the one in trouble, because let me sip a drink. I knew I was the one in trouble because it was on my bedside this man saw, and then she was just looking at me when she saw it. And because I was actually new in the dorm or in the house, she didn't really know who I was, like who I really was. So she would definitely think I was the one, because I'm sure the previous terms she never saw something like that. I would say this was a mere coincidence. I'm sure the previous terms they were able to hide it whenever she's coming, so she never caught them. Only for them to be caught when I am around. Wasn't my fault. Hey, so our house mistress, forever she is, may God bless her, she left, and then we were all scared. At that moment I was so scared. Like, we were all scared, but I was scared more than anybody, because I was the one she was addressing. She thought I was the one, and I couldn't snitch on anybody, because at that moment my phone was under my pillow. You snitch, they snitch. So she left, and then she warned us that she's going to take it up with us. But fortunately for us, this woman left. The next day she didn't talk about it again. Days passed, we never faced the DC. I was so happy, and I thank God, because if my parents heard about it, I would have been in deep waters, even though I knew I wasn't the one, or wasn't my fault. So that incident passed, guys. You can run, but you cannot hide. Another one came. You remember I said I was having a phone. In our house, it was house 6A, 6B, and 6C. It was like a 3-story building. The ground floor was 6A, middle floor, which was first floor, was 6B, which was my house, and then second floor, which was the upper floor, was 6C. We had this house mistress called Mrs. Powers. She was in charge of 6C. As for the 6A madam, she had no issue. She doesn't even like talking. So Mrs. Powers, I think she went for watch night or something. I don't know where she went to. So I don't know if she got a hint that all the people in that particular, she wasn't a house mistress, so she wasn't a house mistress, so So as for us, we never thought she was going to enter our dorm, because our house mistress had already come on and she had gone to sleep. So it was around 11, 10:30, 11. Most of us were on calls. At that particular day, I had finished making my call, so my phone was under my pillow, I remember well, and others were on calls. Nadia, if you were there, I know you remember. And so where I was sleeping, I was deep asleep. Then all I could hear was she walked in quietly. Then, not knowing when she walked in, she began raising pillows. She didn't care whether you were sleeping on the bed or not. She raises your pillow, and then she takes the phone. If I had seen that coming, I would have taken my phone as soon as possible, but I didn't see it coming. She came with a torchlight, so you won't see who is walking, and I was sleeping. The next thing I felt was somebody has raised my pillow, and my head was up. Then the phone, she took the phone. I pretended I was in deep sleep, because at that moment I didn't even wanted to see that I was not sleeping. And no crampo yet, different case. That one is a different case altogether. You know how SHS rules are so strict and all that. So she took my phone. I think that day she seized about 6 to 7 phones because we thought we were almost done, so and we won't be caught. Guys, if it's today and I'll get my phone back, I don't know. If it's tomorrow, I don't know. So we were called. She called us. She told us she was going to report us to the DC. I don't know if she spoke to our house mistress and then she calmed her down, because when it comes to a case of you having a phone, when you are being caught, you are going home straight away. No doubt, no second chance. So this woman now said, walked out. Then every time I see her, I behave as if I have not seen her. She called all those who had a phone. Then she told us that she was going to take us to the DC. I don't know. Fortunately, God intervened once again, and I don't know if she forgot or our house mistress was the one who asked her to stop or whatever happened. We never went to the DC. But guys, imagine if we were taken to the DC. That would be a straight up suspension. To bring a mobile phone to school when you know that you are not supposed to have a mobile phone on you. So guys, that was what happened. And then I was never able to ask her, how can you go and ask for the phone? Right, you can't even ask for the phone. You can't even try it, guys. It was a tough one. Oh. And then I think during that time, that was the only phone. When I went to the way I struggled after school, the way I struggled before I got a new phone, and I was shocked. It wasn't an easy task. Like, it was a very funny one. But Mrs. Powers, we all know her to be very strict. That day, I was really surprised that she did not take us to the DC like she threatened. So my Yashians, you know how our school rules are. You know how strict our mistresses were. But fortunately for some of us, we were lucky, and most people were also caught in the act. Yes, right in my presence, people were caught, and then they were sent to the hey guys, hey Asem, what is this particular word? I'm not able to mention it. Sorry, let me break it down. Disciplinary committee. Yes, disciplinary committee. You guys should forgive me. This word, it sounds like Mimbo. I've never mentioned it before. Every time I try to mention, I'm making mistakes. English is not my language. Bear with me. So guys, that was what happened. So my Yashians know what I'm talking about. That if you're being caught with the phone, Mrs. Elizabeth Mrs. Elizabeth sorry guys, I've forgotten the name. Mrs. Lizzie, I would say Mrs. Lizzie wouldn't spare you. So that was it. My almost suspension story, and then how I was able to run from this thing, because if I was suspended, that would have been literally my end, because my mother would have killed me. But glory be to God, it didn't happen, and then I thank God that I was able to finish schooling in peace. So I finished school in 2015 actually. So my 2015 batch, I know, and those who are in 6B and those who are in the prefect dom, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. My Yashians, Adi share. So guys, this is the end of today's video. Thank you for staying by. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe, like if you really love the video, share and comment. I love you all. Until my next video, bye.